Hello, friends. Let's try to understand the first illustration. Daya and Kshama are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 1 is to 1. Means 50-50 partners they are. From the following trial balance and additional information, prepare final accounts for the year ended 31st March 2019. Trial balance as on 31st March 2019 means this is the accounting year 2018-19. Debit balances, opening stock is there, trading account debit side, bills receivable is asset, wages and salaries. Here this item is beginning with wages, so the salaries are direct expenses. Therefore, wages and salaries will be debited to trading account. Here salaries are treated as direct expense. Sundry debtors are asset, bad debts is loss. It will be debited to profit and loss account. Purchases is direct expense, trading account debit side. Motor car is asset, machinery is asset. Audit fees is indirect expense, profit and loss account debit side. Sales returns will be debited from sales returns will be deducted from sales, trading account credit side, sales minus sales returns. So we will have to show sales in the inner column. Discount, this is the discount having debit balance, it is expense for the business. It will be debited to profit and loss account. Building is asset, cash at bank is asset, 10% investment. This is hidden adjustment. First of all, we will have to confirm whether interest on investment have been received in this year or not. What is the interest which is to be received, which should have been received on investment? 10% of 20,000 is 2,000 is the interest on this investment that was supposed to be received during the year. Has it been received or not? Confirm it in the list of credit balances. Is there any interest? No, we don't find any item of interest received on investment. Means on this investment we haven't yet received any interest. But this interest is of this year. It is the income of this year, though it is not received. It is receivable. It is accrued interest. So it must be shown as an income on the credit side of profit and loss account by accrued interest on investment rupees 2000, and it will be shown on asset side. It will be added to the investment. Accrued interest is asset for the business. So investment will be shown in the inner column and the hidden adjustment will be made. Advertisement, and into bracket it is said that it is paid for 9 months. The another meaning is that 3 months advertisement is outstanding. We have paid 4,500 for 9 months. Means for 1 month the advertisement is the expense on advertisement is 500, and 3 months advertisement is outstanding now. So 3 into 500, 1,500 is the outstanding advertisement. So it will be added to the advertisement on the debit side of profit and loss account. Show advertisement in inner column 4,500 plus outstanding 1,500, outer column 6,000. And this outstanding expense will be shown on liability side. Outstanding advertisement 1,500. Royalties is direct expense, trading account debit side. General reserve is liability, capitals of partners. And see, there is no current account balance given. This is fluctuating capital method. So we can make changes in capital as per our requirement. Capital will be shown in the inner column. Creditors is liability, old RDD is there. I mean the RDD which is given in the trial balance is old RDD and it is deducted from new RDD on the debit side of profit and loss account. The old RDD will be deducted from the total of old bad debts plus new bad debts plus new RDD minus old RDD. You know that. Sales will be shown in the inner column, trading account credit side by sales. Outstanding wages. See, when outstanding expenses are given in the trial balance, only one effect on liability side. If prepaid expenses are given in the trial balance, only one effect on asset side. So outstanding wages will be shown on liability side. That's it. They are already added to wages. We did not to add these outstanding wages to wages. That adjustment entry has already been passed in the books of accounts before they get closed. Therefore, only one effect of outstanding wages on liability side. That's it. Purchase returns will be deducted from purchases and discount. This discount is having credit balance, its income for the business. Therefore, it will be credited. Indirect income it will be credited to profit and loss account. So, after going through the trial balance, we come to know that there are two hidden adjustment, investment and advertisement, and we know how to deal with them. Now, clear-cut adjustments, closing stock, trading account credit side and asset side. The two effects. Depreciate building and machinery at 5% and 3% respectively. Depreciation reduces the value of the asset, so it will be deducted from the concerned asset, and it is loss for the business. It will be debited to profit and loss account. Bills receivable included dishonored bill of rupees 3000. So rupees 3000 will be excluded from bills receivables. Excluded means deducted. And when bill gets dishonored, it increases the amount of debtors. Why? In order to understand it, we will have to study a special topic called bills of exchange, and we are going to study it in the coming months. Therefore, no need to explain it further. Just remember, when bills receivable is dishonored, it reduces the bills receivable and it increases debtors. Okay? And when bills payable is dishonored, it reduces bills payable but it increases the amount of creditors. Fourth adjustment is about goods worth rupees 1000 taken by Daya for personal use was not entered in the books of accounts. These are drawings. Drawings in kind means drawings in the form of goods. The first effect, trading account credit side by goods withdrawn by Daya for personal use. And second effect, it will decrease his capital. It's drawing na, so it will be deducted from capital of Daya. Fifth, write off rupees 1800 as bad debts and maintain RDD at 5% on sundry debtors. Okay. Both new bad debts and new RDD will decrease the amount of debtors. But before that, we will have to first understand all the items which are affecting the amount of debtors. And look at the sixth adjustment. Goods of rupees 6000 were sold, but no entry was made in the books of accounts. It will also increase the amount of debtors. The third adjustment increases the amount of debtors. The sixth adjustment also increases the amount of debtors. Why? Because these are unrecorded sales. Goods were sold but not were entered. So these are sales of the year will be added to sales. And second effect, it is assumed that these sales were on credit basis. Therefore, when goods are sold on credit, the amount of debtors increase. That is why we will add 6000 to debtors. So before we apply the percentage of RDD 5%, we will have to make all the adjustments concerned with debtors. Means in the debtors we will add the dishonored bill, then we will add the unrecorded sales, and then we will deduct 1800 new bad debts, and on the remaining amount of debtors we will calculate RDD at 5%. That's important. So before you make fifth adjustment, you should make the sixth adjustment. It is not necessary that you will have to always follow the sequence of adjustments. Depending upon the case, we will have to make suitable adjustments at proper sequence. Okay, this is the problem, and now we will see the solution. I have told you which items are debited to trading account, the direct expenses, which items are credited to trading account, sales and outward movement of goods, buy goods withdrawn, buy goods stolen, buy goods burned by fire, any outward movement of goods, if it is given in the adjustment, will be credited to trading account, and also the closing stock. Direct expenses are debited to profit and loss account, also the losses. Sorry, I mean indirect expenses are debited to profit and loss account and losses. Indirect expenses are of three types, like selling and distribution expenses, office and administration expenses, financial expenses, and losses during the year. They are debited to profit and loss account. And what is credited to profit and loss account? Indirect incomes and gross profit is credited to profit and loss account. Income other than sales, called indirect income. Sales is revenue, direct income, but other incomes are indirect, like commission received, discount received, rent received, dividend received. These are items of indirect incomes will be credited to profit and loss account, and indirect expenses are debited to profit and loss account. You know very well, as you have studied this topic in the 11th standard, yet I am repeating the same just for the sake of revision. Now let's see the solution. In the books of Daya and Kshama, trading profit and loss account for their ended 31st March 2019. Opening stock, purchases minus returns, royalties, wages and salaries. These are the direct expenses we already have seen in the trial balance. And look at the credit side, revenue by way of sales. Sales plus unrecorded sales as per the adjustment, and then minus sales returns. Net sales in the outer column 2,89,500. Closing stock and the outward movement of goods, means goods taken over by Daya for personal use, have been credited to the trading account. Have been credited to the trading account. Fine. And when we compare the two sides, we come to know that the credit side is greater than the debit, and the shortage on the debit side is called gross profit, 1,09,500. That gross profit is credited to profit and loss account. Gross profit is credited to profit and loss account. Then interest, the indirect income, even though it is not received, it will be received in the next year, but it is of this year, so it must be credited to this year's profit and loss account. It is the income of this year, therefore credited to profit and loss account, and also the discount we earned during the year. Money saved is money earned, isn't it? That's why it is also treated as income of this year, indirect income. Look at the debit side. Advertisement. We paid for advertisement for 9 months 4,500, and we haven't yet paid for 3 months advertisement. We should have paid it, but not paid. Unpaid advertisement for 3 months is 1,500. So total advertisement for this year increases to 6,000 now. And the outstanding advertisement will be shown on liability side. Audit fees, indirect expense, the fees paid to the auditor to verify the accuracy of our accounts. that is office expense, therefore debited to profit and loss account. Indirect expense it is. Depreciation as per the prescribed percentage on these two assets, it's loss for the business, so debited to profit and loss account. Bad debts, old bad debts means which are given in the trial balance, for which we have already passed entry before the accounts get closed. So old bad debts are not deducted from debtors, they are already deducted from debtors. New bad debts which are recently found, they are to be deducted from debtors, so they are deducted from debtors, and again it's loss for the business, so debited to profit and loss account. And new RDD which is calculated very carefully, we are going to discuss it again on asset side. From this total of old bad debts plus new bad debts plus new RDD, the old RDD is deducted. Instead of crediting old RDD to profit and loss account, it is deducted from the debit side. And therefore, actual loss because of debtors for this year is 7,985. The discount which had debit balance, that is the expense for the business, indirect income, indirect item, I mean indirect expenditure, so debited to profit and loss account. And after comparing the two sides of the profit and loss account, we get the good news that the income is greater than expenditure. That is why the good news called net profit is 88,621. It's odd figure, therefore while getting it divided between the two partners, one of them will get 1 rupee extra. So Daya gets 50% of it, 44,311, and Kshama gets remaining amount. The remaining 50%, 44,310. The net profit will be added to the capital. Here we can see capital plus net profit. And the drawings which were made by Daya in form of goods, they are deducted from Daya's capital. Therefore, his capital is now 2,03,311. Capital of Kshama 1,20,000 opening balance plus current year's profit, and no drawings were made by Kshama. So her capital is now 1,64,310. I told you general reserve is liability. Outstanding advertisement, the 3 months advertisement as per the hidden adjustment shown on liability side. Creditors is liability, and also the outstanding wages which were given in the trial balance. Only one effect on liability side. Now look at the asset side. Building minus 5% depreciation, 5% of 75,000, 3750. Machinery minus depreciation, 3% of 1,14,800, 3,444. So the net amount of the assets in the outer column. Bills receivable, the amount of bills receivable is 28,000 as per the trial balance, but the latest information says that it includes 3,000 dishonored bill. So this act of dishonor will decrease the bills receivable, so we deducted 3,000 from 28,000. So actual bills receivable with us are of rupees 25,000, and the act of dishonor of bill receivable increases the amount of debtors. So we can see 3,000 added to debtors. Then motor car, there was no adjustment on it. Cash at bank, closing stock. Now the most important item in this problem, that is sundry debtors. Let's see. The value of sundry debtors as per trial balance is 1,32,500. No problem. Then we come to know that some bills receivable of rupees 3,000 were dishonored. So the drawee who dishonors the bill becomes our debtor. So 3000 added to debtors. Then later on we come to know that some goods were sold on credit but they were not recorded. So if they had been recorded, that would have increased the amount of debtors, but they were not recorded. So let's record it now. The persons to whom the goods were sold on credit become our debtor. So we are adding 6000 to our debtors. Now, after adding the dishonored bill and unrecorded sales, our debtors are increasing to 1,41,500. Then we found new bad debts in the adjustment. They should be deducted from debtors, and we can see that the new bad debts are deducted from that total 1,800. Now our debtors are of rupees after making the third and sixth as well as the fifth adjustment of new bad debts. I mean, our debtors are of rupees 1,39,700. Now this amount is eligible for calculation of RDD. Which amount? After adding dishonored bill, unrecorded sales and deducting new bad debts, that amount is the base for calculation of new RDD. And therefore 1,39,700, it's 5%, 6,985. That is the correct amount of RDD. And then we can see the exact amount of debtors at the end of the year. Here calculation of RDD is very important. It should be done very carefully, and you are now well aware of that. And the hidden adjustment on investment. The investment was made on which 10% interest is earned annually. 20,000 were invested, on which we were expecting 2,000 interest, 10% of 20,000, 2,000. But we have not received any interest during the year. Though it is not received, it will be received, but this interest is of this year, so it was considered as income of this year, therefore it was credited to profit and loss account. And now the accrued incomes are always asset for the business, amount receivable is always asset for the business, so it is shown on asset side, rather it was added to investment. Similar items are combined together in order to make effective presentation. These are not just accounts, these are accounting statements, therefore presentation is very important. By this way we can see its solution. You get it solved in your notebook. Thank you very much.